What's up, guys? It's Tube. Today we're going to be looking at some more posts and leading to the trademarks that appeared a couple months ago that seemed to hint about Paradox Suicune and Virizion. So we'll talk about that. First post is this. November 9th. Well, they erased Suicune and Virizion's data, but that doesn't mean you can't see them in game. Those three, looking forward to witnessing them. So this is when Scarlet and Violet got leaked and people were dumping it, and Ku looked at the files and said, damn, I guess these three Pokemon that I was shown didn't end up making it. But when he says that, that doesn't mean you can't see them in game. He's probably talking about the three drawings that are in Heat's book. But it's interesting to even consider that their data was originally in the game. Pokemon's done this in weird ways before, like with Mega Latios and Latios. They were just straight up an X and Y for no reason, but to just leak their existence until Auras came out. I don't think they would have even had a purpose in the main story unless it was going to be some pointless distribution where they just pop up as a black terror raid. I don't know why they're even in the game in the first place. But someone asks Ku, any info on what the Paradox abilities do? They will be crap without buff from leaders. So this is interesting. November 9th, the games are already leaked, so we know Photosynthesis and Quark Drive. Ku saying this almost sounds like he's not even referring to those abilities. He says they'll be crap without buff from leaders. What does this mean? What if it's something really stupid like they have slow start, but it gets nullified if a drought is up or if the electric train is up? Which could make sense, you know? Like, you've taken them out of their environment. They need the sun to function like normal. Or the electric terrain. Why the frick would you say they'll be crap? Another interesting thing is, so he says they'll be crap without buff from leaders, right? Remember one of the fun ideas I said last video where, what if Suicune benefits from the electric terrain and Virizion benefits from the drought because it's a grass type? And so when he says buff from leaders, maybe he is just being tricky with his words and he means buff from the opposite leaders. Here's another post. So when talking about what the DLC could bring, here are some cool ideas in splitting it into 3 sections, just like the main game. One idea is Nemona's sister being introduced in the story that assigns you on a quest to explore a new area like a school trip. Another idea is another professor arriving in Paldea and you exploring what's going on with Arven. And then the third idea is saying, this one's pretty cool, a new evolution has been discovered. Penny goes nuts and she grabs the gang to explore the new area of the map and hunt down this evolution. What better time than now to introduce some kind of evolution and have Penny be pivotal in that? I'd imagine it to be a counterpart to Sylveon. Do something. Here's another post. So I was looking at Jack's Bulbapedia page, as I guess normal people do, and this, I just wanted to show you guys, this dude's name is Xenia in Japanese. Why is his name Xenia? And if you're wondering, Xenia's name is Higana. So we have Higana in Japanese and then Xenia in Japanese. See, I was looking at Jack's face because the sucker has hexagon glasses. And I was trying to go into the mindset of what if there's something wrong with every single teacher in the game? Because they all joined the school a year and a half ago. This man, what if they're all like, there's something wrong with them? What if they all have like an influence from the 3rd legendary? Because Jack is rumored to have been in the crater as well. Like, imagine in the DLC, one day you're chilling in class and then suddenly all the teachers just get weird. You know, they start freaking battling you. And you know what? Clavel will somehow be the one who's not affected. He's our sidekick again. Also, another specific one is Rhyford. Right now, it's just a detail that she's just into mitts and stuff, but she carries a lot of ornaments from different legendaries. She got an Articuno on her neck, her belt buckle's a Lunala, in her hair's a Marshadow, and then on her hand's a Tapu Koko. Right now, the only reason she has this is because she's into mitts. It doesn't mean she's evil, even if she says a bunch of creepy things. That's just her character. But if they made all these characters with the intention of doing more with them later on in the DLC, I feel like they're all set up quite well. Okay, here's another detail. Did you know that the Paradox Legends, I mean Cryon and Miraidon, are both quirky nature? They're set as quirky. Quirky means unorthodox or unexpected, so that's why they gave that nature to them. Meanwhile, the other Cryon and Miraidon that the professor has is more perfect, being adamant or modest. Who knows what that means? Alright, so moving on, we're gonna talk back about the 2 Paradox Legendaries, Virizion and Suicune. There's an interesting rabbit hole we can go down for these Pokemon. On November 15th, Pokeexperto, who always likes to show us trademarks, put a dump of a bunch of trademarked Pokemon names in Japanese. We have Pokemon such as Loudbone, I wonder who that is, and Pawmot, X-Leg, of course, Iruka-man. Everyone knows Iruka-man. And of course, Do-O. This is where the post originated that I showed you that says Do-Ho-RF. But quickly, people start to point out that one of these names doesn't match up with any known Pokemon. And people start to speculate that it's secretly Paradox Suicune. And we go back to Ku, he says the Pokemon were scrubbed from the game. So it makes sense that they sent Suicune's name trademark here. So let's break down this name. We'll get to the second half and focus on the first, Uneru. So I cited a couple Japanese bands for this. First is Sparta ZSS, who says Uneru is like describing waves intensely whirling and turning. And then there's Pokesurumi, who describes Uneru to mean something like surging. So that's the first half. Surging, wave themed. The second half is Minamo. This one's easy. It just means the water's surface. So like the moon reflecting off the water surface, this is the word you would use. Oddly, this has nothing to do with Raikou or Entei. Somehow, if we found the right name, this really is mainly a Suicune with just imagined Raikou and Entei features. It's not 3 parts equal. How dare you treat these two as background characters? I really hope when these Pokemon are shown to us in-game that there's lore to go with it. I want to know how this man came to be and why he ate Raikou and Entei. Clearly he ate them. But anyhow, that's possibly Suicune, Uneruminamo. So Pokemon names can only be 12 characters long, so let's see. We can do Storming Man, Storming Sea. Storming Sea. I would imagine if it's violently moving water, storm is a good way to describe it. And there's no way they'd call it water, you know? Alright, and then there's the other name. So this name, rather than being found out as a trademark, came directly out of the foul, stenchiest mouth of them all, Kaka. So here's how it goes for future Pokemon. Let me explain this. They're all iron something, right? In Japanese, iron is tetsu. So they add tetsu in front of a noun, boom. Iron bundle, Tsutsumi, means bundle or package, Iron Tsutsumi. I wonder who that is. It's Delibird. For Iron Valiant, they put Tetsu in front of the word for warrior soldier, which is Bujin, Tetsu no Bujin. They've actually taken the same description and just translated it to English. So let's look at Kaka's rancid name. Tetsunoisaha. Very good, toilet. So Isaha, when I look up online, seems to be close to just meaning plant or leaves. So bruh, iron leaves. Something like that. Raging Sea, Iron Leaf. But listen to this. Leaves, bro. This gives a whole different outlook on these not even being equal fusions at all. Suicune is mainly water, and then Virizion is mainly grass. Their secondary typing is something I can't get into in this video, but to touch the surface, so Virizion's move is called Psyblade. That would hint that it's actually grass psychic. So would Suicune's secondary typing really be something like it being water fire, or would it create a perfect loop with Virizion and be like water dark or water ghost, so that Virizion can beat Suicune and then Suicune can beat Virizion? Not that they have to be actually fighting each other, but just to make them counterparts. But that's for y'all to discuss in the comments. What do you think Suicune and Virizion's typing actually will be? Now we need a better name. Grass can be called a blade of grass, right? Iron Blade. Yo, your boy got it. Alright, one more thing I wanted to show you is fan art putting these guys into life. So imagining these new typings, one being water-based and grass-based, and not thinking of them as full-on fusions. Check out this sick art done by RedBRB of Paradox Suicune. This is amazing. So it's Suicune, he's got the Raikou fangs. I don't even see Entei on this guy anymore, but the way he's colored here, it properly encapsulates it actually being Suicune. Maybe that's a bit of Entei right there, the freaking spikes. These legs are Raikou. He don't even have like the Entei cuffs. But if you imagine this in-game in your Pokemon Scarlet with some lore explaining just what it is, that's crazy. And then we have possibly my favorite take on Paradox Virizion right here. Well done. Once we know that it's grass and water based, they look a lot more clean. When I colored them for my video, which is like a 6-minute job in Photoshop, I try to blend the colors from the original Pokemon. So I got weird images like this. But this looks perfect. Also, it looks so compact. So there are many features here. He has the Terrakion boots, the Cobalion like back legs, but he colored it in a way where everything's green, and then he has the robotic energy at such cool spots that it isn't too much. And of course, proper eyes. Nothing like that Iron Treads eyes. These are two of my most favorite takes. So shout out to RedBRB on that. Alright, make sure you guys shank that like button. I got a lot more to dive into, so we'll do that next time, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.